Okay guys, in last week's assignment what you did is you drew an apple and you were supposed to use something that would give you wanted to start on colored paper. So here I use this green paper in this example, but then you wanted to use something like I used charcoal to give me the shadows, I used white chalk to give me the highlights. When I showed you the one that I worked on, I actually did it on a brown piece of cardboard. If you do not have something that will act as colored paper, if you don't have a lot of construction paper and stuff laying around, you can actually use a brown paper grocery bag. So that's what I'm going to use for mine. So what we're going to do is there's some pear images that you've sort of scrolled through before getting to this video. So that's actually what we're going to do. Here's some other samples I want to put in front of the camera real quick. This is a pumpkin I drew, and I used colored chalk to do this. And this is a peach that I did, and I used colored chalk to do this. In both examples, what I want you to notice is you have something that has color. So here the peach has these yellow tones, these orange tones, and it has the red. That is all what we talked about before in the page about local value. So the local value of the red part is darker than the local value of the yellow part. The tonal value is down here, the yellow part gets dark because of the shadows that are on it. The light blue table here gets darker because of the shadow that's on that. So that's tonal value, but local value is the darkness of the colors. So what we're going to focus on with the pear is you're going to actually draw two. So there's a photograph that you rolled down to get to this video that has two pears. One is standing up and one is kind of laying on its side. So that's what I want you to attempt to do. Because of the crease on this paper, to kind of get that out of my way, I'm going to put it up there so it's mostly at the top, where most of my drawing will be concentrated down at the bottom. So for this, you can use colored pencils, you could use crayons, you could use colored chalk if you have some. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use oil pastels. So you want to use something ideally that will let you put color on here, but it'll actually let you mix some color together. So what I did, since I had this brown paper bag that I cut up, I actually took it and I looked at the colors that I thought I would use for the pears, and actually did some color here and sort of mixed it together with the oil pastels just to sort of see how it would look and experiment with it. So before trying your actual drawing, I recommend you do that too. So what I'm going to do is I want to start with a light middle tone. So the pears that you guys have seen in the photographs, they can be all kinds of different colors. Most of the ones I've seen are green, and I like the green ones myself when I'm eating them. So I'm going to use this light green as my middle tone to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a pear that is kind of laying on its side, and I'm going to need to give myself a contour line or an edge to follow to fill in. So here's part of it laying this way on the table, and then it comes towards me. Most pears have a bigger bottom part and a smaller top part. So if I do a form that has that, that's already going to look a lot like a pear. Then I'm going to have one that is actually sitting up like it's standing on its own almost, but I'm going to have it being overlapped by this one a little bit, and since it's kind of behind it, this bottom edge is lower, this one's up a little bit higher. So I'm going to go ahead and get that outline to start with. Then I'm going to start filling them in. And I want to think about what we did with our apples in our last assignment. Our apple is a curved form, so you want to make sure as you fill it in, you're using curve marks to do that. So I'm going to start doing that with this pear. And here it would curve around this way. From the top it would curve towards the middle part. From the top here it would curve towards this middle part. Notice I'm not, even though these are both green, I'm not coloring in the other one at the same time because it's a separate form. So I would want to handle the coloring of that or the filling in of that separately. So this one is filled in. Now this one I'm going to handle separately. So this would curve around this way towards the bottom. This would curve up from the bottom towards the top. This would curve from the bottom towards the middle. So I'm filling this in, getting it ready. So you guys are working on yours and I'm working on mine.